everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Dear MANSE, the podcast. So, today I'm joined by Emma, a high school student who knows firsthand what it's like to navigate the stress, pressure, and ups and downs that come with being a teenager. And she's also a member of MANSE Minds, and she is an international ambassador. So, I'm really happy to have you here today, Emma. Thank you for joining us from all the way from China. Um, Emma, would you like to say anything before we kind of dive into the podcast?
Hi guys, I'm Emma. I'm going to be a sophomore next year, and I'm really excited to join MANSE Minds.
Yay, thank you again so much. So I guess we can just like dive right into it. So I have a few questions prepared, and honestly, just feel free to like give your honest insight on them. And if you're not comfortable with answering anything, just let me know. Like that's completely fine. All over here, it's just about making a safe space and trying to destigmatize mental health. Okay. So, first and foremost, what's something that you've been really into or excited about lately? Not mental health, but just kind of like warming up into like the deeper questions.
Yeah, so I'm actually like right now I'm really interested in films and movies. I recently just got Letterboxd, so I've been like logging lots of movies and watching them. I think movies are a really great way to like look into like different aspects of life that maybe I will never experience, but like just to watch that, it feels like I'm living another life. And so I just like really into like movies and watching movies, yeah.
Yeah, same. I've honestly been binge watching a lot of Netflix recently and procrastinating a lot of work, which I probably shouldn't be doing, but like, it's always a guilty pleasure. Anyway, it's good to
Yep.
like relax sometimes. Um, another question. If you could describe yourself in 3 words, what would they be?
Oh, okay. Creative. I'm a little messy and hmm, and caring. I don't know.
Yeah, that's really cool. I've also seen like a lot of your art. That's like really cool. I really want to be able to like draw like that or like have artistic ability because I literally cannot even like draw like a stick man properly. Like the stick is like literally like crooked. So yeah, thank you. Yeah. Um, okay, so now we're gonna kind of like get into like the second part of it. So, kind of like your story, because we kind of want to know like a little bit more about you and like how mental health like resonates with you and like what it means to you, you know? So first, like,
Hmm.
how did you first become interested in like mental health or advocacy, and what does it really mean to you as like a teenager? And somebody, I'm pretty sure like most of our viewers are more of like a teenage audience level. So, I mean, I guess it's like pretty relatable for everyone too to experience like some minor like mental health problems or it's all on a different scale. So could you just like share with us like how did you first become interested in this in advocacy?
Yeah. So I'll first start off with mental health. In middle school, personally, I don't think I was like in a really good headspace, and I just had like not really positive thoughts all the time, and so it was not really good. And I like had like a therapist for a while, and so I've like I've had this experience with like myself. I was not in a good like mental space, and so like I know what it feels like as a teenager, especially because we're so young. Our voices are sometimes not heard, especially like in like me personally, like the Asian community, they don't believe in like mental health. So it's like hard to like navigate like your mind without like any adult help. Like you're just on your own. It's like you against like the world essentially. And so I really want to like bring up these voices and like talk about mental health because it's very important. Everyone has a mental health, and it's very important that like we should start addressing it because I think that's a really really big issue right now, especially with like social media rising. A lot of people like experience like different versions of like mental health, like everyone experiences it. So I think it's like really important to like, advocate for us, advocate for like teenage people who like, or just like younger people in general who like don't have like a strong enough voice to be heard yet, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree. I feel like mental health is definitely, like you said, like in the Asian community, definitely like an overlooked subject. I feel like even like my family, and my extended family, I feel like, it's just kind of mental health is like an iffy subject to talk about, and it really shouldn't be. Which is why I think that like it's really important to start to like destigmatize it. Because I feel mental health definitely plays into a big role, like not only like in our lives, but like also like in our physical health, it matters a lot.
Yeah,
But yeah, I just like wish that more people were kind of like more aware about it, even like, the older generations, because it's definitely like a big problem today with social media and other like, external subjects,
forces.
forces
Yeah,
being brought
I
up.
definitely, because I think like older generations, they're like not a teenager now, and they're not living in the time that we're living in. Because
Exactly.
back then, they did not have like, everyone did not have a phone. There was no social media. You couldn't like see everyone's lives constantly. But right now, you can like see everyone's lives and like
Yeah.
everyone's mind. And so it's like they didn't. We're living in like a completely different world than they were living in, but like they don't believe us, which is really sad.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of a sad reality, but there are a lot of other like sources these days that are kind of destigmatizing it and bringing more awareness to it, which is great.
yeah,
Um, Moving on to the next question. So, was there like a moment or experience that made you realize like this is something that I want to talk about, like something that I want to bring awareness about?
yeah. So I think that movement's probably when, you know, my parents or my mom specifically, like, Asian parents, they're like, you don't have any mental health problem. Just be happy. Just, they don't believe in, right? So they're just like, be happy. Stop thinking about that. It's not a real thing. Just be happy. And I was like, I don't know how to do that. Like when I was, going through not like a really great time, I didn't know how to do that. And I was just really frustrated. I was like, I don't know how to do that. And you're just telling me to like change my thoughts, but I don't know how to do that. And so I was like, I need to bring awareness to this. I need to like talk about how mental health isn't just be happy. It's more than that. It's more than what, Asian parents think it is. And that's when I was like, I need to talk about this.
Mm, yeah. I feel like a lot of people can definitely like relate to that. Like we said before, a lot of older generations don't realize the impact mental health like has on us. So I think that's, like be happy. It's really like a statement that cannot
Yeah.
be fulfilled.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a really, interesting moment. Another question. This is kind of like a little bit on the deeper side, I guess. So, what's something that has been like kind of challenging in a part of like your journey so far and like mental health aspects of it? Like, what's something that you found like kind of difficult that kind of took a toll on you, like emotionally?
Hmm. Um I wouldn't say this like took a toll on me emotionally, but I feel this like a lot. I have this feeling of being left behind when I like see everyone else, like especially social media. I like see a lot of people like doing these things, and then suddenly like, oh, all these like thoughts come back. It's like, wait, I'm like super behind. I'm I'm like this, I'm like that, and like all these like bad thoughts start coming in. So it's like some days I won't feel this way, and then boom, it'll like come back to me. So I won't say emotionally like it took a toll on me, but it like comes around a lot. Like a couple days it'll like, come back. And I just like have to tell myself, no, like stop comparing yourself to other people, like, stop doing that. Because I think that's like what like got me into a bad state in the first place. So I was like, I'm like trying to step step back from it. And I just tell myself, you don't have to stop comparing yourself to like those people. Start comparing it to like yourself. And then when I start doing that, I like get a lot, feel a lot better. I'm like, wait, me last year didn't do this. And
Yeah.
so it, yeah, like I just feel like, wait, like me last year was in this place and now I'm here. So, improvement. So if I like stop looking at other people, because when I like start doing that, oh, I get this wave of emotions and it's just,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can definitely relate to that. Like, I definitely like feel like also I feel like maybe this is just me or I don't know, like a lot of people can definitely relate to this, even you, I'm sure. But like I feel like during like long periods of time where, like summer break or, time where we're not really like in school or like, really distracted, I guess, like with doing something like studying, doing homework, practicing sports or something. I feel like I just have time to, I guess, kind of like go into this like pool of like anxiety, and I just like start worrying so much about the most random stuff. Like, I don't know, like recently I've just been like really worried about like going into like I'm also going into my sophomore year of high school. I'm like really worried about like the future. Honestly, like I don't want to grow up and I don't want to go into my sophomore year of high school. I don't want to like, go into these harder classes. I just feel like I'm growing up and like college applications, that is like something that I don't even want to think about right now. But I feel like it's just definitely something that I think about way too much and I shouldn't. Like you said, like I got to stop comparing myself to other people because, I'm doing better than I was like this time last year. Like I'm pretty sure. So, and honestly, I feel like everything will be fine in the end. As long as you know, I feel like we should just live in the moment because that's definitely something that we're gonna regret later, that like we didn't like enjoy our youth because like these are like our teenage years, like we should be having fun while also like, studying or whatever. But, I feel like a lot of people our age are also just worried about the future, and that's something that I can't help too, but I think it's definitely a problem. I mean, just not living in the moment.
yeah, I like whenever someone asks like this icebreaker question is what's your biggest fear? And then like people next to me will be like spiders, bears, whatever. I don't know. I'm always like the future. Because to me the future is
Exactly.
scary because I'm ultimately the one who's deciding it. I'm like the one who's like driving my future. And it's like if I mess up, my future is like, gonna go a certain way.
Yeah.
And I have parents, I like my parents like tell me about people who are like way older than me and telling me about their future. And I still have a couple years until I'm at that age, but I still like have a fear. I'm like, am I gonna be them? Am I not gonna be them? Am I gonna be like a failure? Like I don't know. It's just my thoughts, they
Yeah.
haunt me. And I was gonna say something else about like you had really, really great points, and I was just like, um, it's oh yeah, summer. Summer for me, oh yeah, like the pool of anxiety. Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely feel that because it's like I don't see anybody. It's like I'm all alone. And then um and it's just like wow, I have so much free time, my thoughts can just like go like spiraling. And a lot of times in order to like muffle these sounds I just doom scroll, I just like go on TikTok. I like literally cannot leave a space with silence. Like if there's silence, my mind is just gonna like overthink every single thing I ever did in my entire life. So it's like people are like my mom and dad are like why are you always like on your phone and TikTok listening to stuff. It's because if I don't listen to something, like my brain is just going to start thinking and it's just I'm just going to go to like a bad point. So it's like I'm always having like noise next to me even while I'm like getting ready, like before like going to bed. And it's like not a good habit to go on TikTok or like
Yeah.
to before or like in the morning, but I just can't cuz I need something like next like to my brain or else my brain's going to start thinking about all these like thoughts. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like something honestly that I can relate to, you can relate to. Like I don't know. Um, but yeah, I think that definitely like times where I'm just not distracted, like my thoughts will eventually like take over me. Um, but yeah, great thoughts, honestly. Moving on to the next question. Um, so what's like something that you do to take care of your own mental health while like helping others? Or what's something that you like try to do to kind of like lower your stress or anxiety or, something that you do?
Yeah. So something to like lower like my stress and anxiety, I like paint, as you like mentioned before. I think painting for me is like a way of like de-stressing when I'm like, watching like a comfort show and then there's like, mixing all the paints and just like putting it on like a canvas. Actually painting is sometimes like really stressful. Like I'm just like, wow, I can't get this part right. But I'm like not thinking about myself. I'm thinking about a painting. So I'm getting stressed on a different part of my life. And like I just love the feel of paint. Every time I like do it, I'm like super relaxed. And my mom knows this too. And she's like, I know you're painting because you want to de-stress. And she always gets really mad at me for it. She's like, you need to stop painting. You need to start like studying. And I'm like, yes, I know I need to start studying, but it's like, painting, I just like feel in a different world. Like, I don't like the outside world does not affect me. I'm like myself. It's me, this paintbrush, my canvas, and like whatever show I'm watching. And I'm just like there. I don't think about like anyone else. It's just, doing that. And that's like a way for me to distress. But I don't think that like helps anyone else with their mental health. Um, I feel like for that, I would just help my parents out. Like sometimes when like, I'm feeling in a good mood, I'll just like help my mom, you know, bring her like water or whatever. I feel like doing positive like acts and like kindful acts, they make me feel better as a person, and like it also like makes the other people feel happy that I
Yeah.
did it for them. Like it just like boosts positivity, and I think that's really important too.
I mean, that's really cool that like, doing like something that you really like your passion, like painting, kind of helps you de-stress.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. I actually like really like to figure skate. So
Ooh.
I feel like, doing things that you love,
Mhm.
honestly, it just like takes your mind off of like, any like bad thoughts in your brain or anything. I also like really love like, spending time with my friends or just like walking with my friends. Like I feel like nature is honestly like the way to go when like you're having like a hard time or like when you need a study break, just like
Mhm.
walking through the neighborhood or like, like having like a short hangout with your friends. Like that's always like super fun to kind of like talk with
Yeah.
them. And like honestly, maybe it'll help them too. Going out in nature, like grabbing some food or something, having a nice chat with one of your friends. Like that's just the way to go for me.
Actually, this summer, because like over for some reason during the academic season, I didn't go outside and walk. But over the summer, I made a goal for myself was to like go outside more, and I like started like going on solo walks myself. It's just like me and my music, and like actually going outside. It feels so nice. Like I don't know why I didn't do this before. Like just breathing fresh air. It's like I'm not
Yeah,
sitting up. Like my English teacher actually told me this. Like he always tells us at the end of class to go touch grass. So I was like, okay, summer, I need to go touch some grass. And I was just like going outside and walking. And yeah, I think, yeah, that's a really, really great way to like, de stress. Oh, and another thing I like realized is when it comes to like academic work, because like over the summer, I was like, doing some like prep for like some classes. I
Mhm.
was like, I actually work a lot better in like a cafe or like a library. I don't work
Yeah,
well own study home. I'm like sitting there at my desk and I'm like, no, let's go on my phone. Let's, go on the bed. But like when I'm at like libraries or cafes, I like feel more motivated than usual. And it's
exactly.
like and I'm like, these new environments are like, wow, so much better than my own desk.
Exactly. No, that's so real. Cause like I feel like I cannot like lock in at home. Like it's actually like a problem because also like I have a little brother, he's like 7, and he's just really noisy. I don't know if that's just him or but like like the background noise of like family, like there's cooking, there's people like cleaning the house. There are all these sorts of sounds, and honestly like the environment is just like really homely, like it's just like like you said, like I just want to doom scroll on TikTok or like I would just want to like bed raw or like be on my bed. But I feel like going to the library, like you said, or like going to a cafe or anything, just like a little like change of setting, it like is so helpful. Like I actually went to like a tournament a while ago, I think in January, and like me and my friend like we got some Starbucks and then we literally like locked in for 2 hours. I got so much work done and I studied for like my biology test. It was so great. Like, I don't know, it just happens.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, next question. Um, okay. What's something you think adults often misunderstand about teen mental health? Like we said before, like I know that like they definitely, disregard it and they
Mhm.
kind of, put it down. But like what do you think that there's something like about it that kind of throws them off, that makes them kind of disregard it and kind of like make it seem like nonsense?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of aspects, and I think I'm gonna try to address it. First, I feel like because we're all like or most of us are like, teenagers, really young, like around the ages of like, I'm assuming like 10 to like 20, like that period of time. And that's like our like growth, time where like, puberty and all that, like hormones and stuff. I feel like maybe like a lot of times they'll blame like the teenage mental health on just being a teenager. Like, oh, you're just a teenager, you're this young, like, maybe you'll grow out of it, or you're putting on this act for like attention or whatever. I feel like this actually relates to a film I recently watched like literally 5 days ago. It's called 13. It's from the 2000s. I think it's pretty famous. I was like reading a lot of like stuff about that movie, and one of the actresses for in that movie said that the main character Tracy, everything that she is in the beginning is what she is at the end, but like there's a really this big difference, and it just shows how like, you know um teenagers, like, we are like that in our minds, and sometimes we'll like use like abuse and like these bad like acts to like cover for it. I don't know, that's like not a really great way of explaining like the movie, but it was something I read and I was like, wow. I feel like if you like, you should like look into that movie if you want to like know about like teenage angst and whatever. um yeah, I think a lot of times like we don't know how to like express our emotions, I guess, so we like put on like these acts, and adults just, think these acts are just, you're just a bad kid or whatever.
Yeah.
um I think and also another point I want to address, that was, I addressed the previous point really badly, I'm so sorry.
No, no, no.
Just look into 13, it's really good.
I will, I will.
um yeah. um a second point, I was thinking, I feel like adults think teenage mental health is just like very simple. They're just like, oh, it's just that. But I feel like mental health is, it's like really big. It's like this entire like spectrum, this like whole, I don't know how to describe, but it's like more than just like one thing. I feel like a lot of adults just to condense mental health into like what they see, like a very narrow mindset, like very narrow like vision. But I feel like mental health is like really bigger than what they see. And so I think they just like downplay it like a lot because they're not us, and so they don't like see how big mental health really is. They just like downplay it like a lot. Yeah, I think that's what
Yeah, that is, yeah, kind of like the sad reality of it. But, hopefully in the future, there'll be more like projects and hopefully even like MANSE Minds can help try and bring awareness to it. And yeah, I've actually been one of my friends also recommended me to watch the 13 movie.
hmm
I like saw like a bunch of like things of it like on TikTok also.
yeah.
But yeah, I think I'll definitely check it out. That seems pretty cool. Um,
Yeah.
next question. Um, how do you think creativity, like art, music, and writing, helps like with emotional well-being and mental health? Obviously we know that you are an amazing artist. So
Mhm.
coming from an artist, like what do you think like this meaning behind it is, or like how does it work? Like how does creativity help with it?
I think creativity is a really great way to like express all your like emotions, like writing, art, anything. when I was like in 7th grade or 6th grade, I would like write that we my school had like a poetry contest, and I would like write about I wrote this poem about how I felt like my mind was like a cage, and like I was trying to like reach for that freedom or whatever. I think writing is a really great outlet to express all your emotions, you know. Just like put it all out there, and like so you'll be like, oh no, it's not my feelings, it's just a work of art, you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
So people will not like they'll really tell me like, are you okay? And be like, nope, it's just a work of art or whatever. I like also like painting just like your emotions out. I feel like that's really great too. And like not only like creating but like also consuming creativity, I feel like that's also really good. Like music is like um a really great way to cope. I actually like I feel like I don't know if this is true or not, but I think Taylor Swift like saved me. Like this this is really embarrassing, but
No, no,
um
no, no, no. Yeah, yeah, keep on going.
and I was listening to it and I was like, wow, this is so good. And like started to like, you know, not be as sad as I used to, because I was like, wow, somebody like relates to me, or like all these songs like relate to like a feeling that I've had or whatever. And I feel like music is really, really great. Like now like I've kind of moved on from her music, and it's just like even like other music, like music makes you happy, music makes you sad, and it's I don't know, it's like really great way to like yeah, I've had a lot of friends tell me that some days they'll just like stare at their ceiling on their bed and just like listen to music for the entire day. And I think it's a really great way to like get lost in like something beautiful or whatever.
Hmm.
And if the music like makes you sad or whatever, there's like someone out there who, you know, also experienced the same things that you. So in a way you feel like you're not alone, like many people listen to the song, many people listen to this artist, so it's like wow, you know, there's like a group of people who maybe relate to me in like certain way, so you don't feel alone. And I think feeling alone is like very scary, so I think art is like a great way to bring community. Yeah, like
Wow. Yeah.
I don't know. I
Sorry.
love art, and I feel like a lot of people like don't like hate on art. They're like art, no art, and I love art. It's like it's so beautiful. Like watching film is also a really great way to like not feel alone. I feel like a lot of movies, like I haven't watched that many, but I feel like a lot of movies they like show a lot of like teenage angst and like this like these teenage emotions, and they capture it really well. Lady Bird for me is my personal favorite because I think that movie really expressed how I felt my relationship with my mom. And so I just like really connect with it. And also there's so many different like movies out there. Like Perks of Being a Wallflower. I haven't watched that movie yet, but I've heard it's like really it's also about like the teenage experience. And these are like all really popular films. So I like these films, they kind of like capture it, what it feels like to be like a teenager during this time. And I think it's also a really great way to like not feel alone. You're like you're watching this like wow, you know, this really big movie has a really big fan, like a lot of people love this movie and relate to it. And you know, if you relate to the movie too, you can be like I don't feel alone because there's a lot of people who also feel the same way as I did. You know, maybe they've grown up and they don't feel that way, but when they were my age they did feel that way. And so it just, you know, you don't feel and like that alone anymore. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I think, yeah, it's really cool to see like all different types of art, like bring community together, like you said. Like whether it's just like actual art, film, um, that's really cool. Um, Next question. So, okay. If you could design one program or resource for youth mental health, what would it look like?
Okay. If I could design something for youth mental health, I would definitely design some like a program where you could like talk to someone. I think a lot of mental health websites also have this where it's like you have access to like people who you can talk to. But also I feel like it's like important to not just to like connect with like other people who've also, you know, had the same experiences. Like I feel like talking to you, it's really like enlightening because it's like we have a lot of shared like feelings, and I think that's like really really important. It's like, wow, like other people have, gone through this. And so, you're not alone. I feel like being alone is like the worst feeling where you're just like, wow, like you feel like no one can help you. But if you have like a community or like even like one person, like it's really good because then you're like, so this person has gone through what I've gone through, and we can like, help each other like grow together or whatever. Um, yeah, just like some like a program where you could talk to someone, and at the same time, you can have like this sorting thing where like you can answer questions and it'll like give you like an anonymous group chat where you can just like express your feelings or whatever, and maybe it's like led by somebody who's like comfortable with sharing those feelings. So I feel like if it's like a group chat, like if not a lot of people are like comfortable with talking, it's like a little awkward. But it's like someone who's like comfortable with like sharing their experiences and just like talking to them. And maybe sometimes it's not about mental health. Maybe it's just about like common shared interests. I feel like just like forming social connections, it's also like a great way to like feel better. Like because then you're like talking to someone. And I feel like as humans, I feel like we have to have social connections. Like that's just the way we are. And so I think having like these connections with anonymous people, maybe that like help. I feel like that would have helped me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree. I think conversation is definitely it's vital for human survival even. But I mean, I think that, talking to each other and having conversations with people that like you may not know, or if it's like anonymous, I feel like it kind of just like makes you feel heard because I feel like just kind of, talking or like venting to someone that like, like you're really close to, or like you might not be really, I guess, used to sharing like your really in-depth emotions with them. I feel like that can be kind of like awkward or like misleading, or you might not like feel heard or
Yeah.
anything, right?
Like a lot of people who are like, oh, I don't want to be the therapist friend.
Yeah,
And so,
exactly.
okay, we'll like not talk about any dark feelings, whatever.
Yeah. And I mean it's also like really great to just like have that one friend where you can like talk to anything about. Like honestly, just having friends has helped me like so much. And I just feel like I can have like, conversations with like specific people. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's really like important. Um
Yeah.
Communication is really important, and I definitely like really like your idea about the anonymous chatting. I feel like that's definitely like something where like people can like feel more heard and like kind of relate more, so I feel like that's really really cool.
Yeah.
um we're almost done, so these are like a last couple of like closing questions. So what's one piece of advice you'd give to a teen listening who's kind of struggling with their mental health right now?
I would definitely tell them to like try not to compare yourself to other people, which I feel like that's pretty impossible. I'm doing it too. I feel like it's to compare yourself to you, like past you, and like how you've like grown up. Um, I'm always like looking at people, I'm like, wow, they're like so ahead of me. But then I like think, wow, me last year, like I said this before, like just comparing to myself, I like see growth in myself and I feel like a lot better. I feel like comparison is like a lot of people's reasons for like their mental health, or like just like sometimes they'll like not feel so good about themselves. It's especially with like social media. I feel like it's important just like compare to yourself and like grow and like um yeah, because in the end it's yourself. You are you and they are you know other people. And so just taking a look at yourself and thinking, okay, if I want to improve like this, last year, maybe a couple months ago, I was at this place and I'm at this place, and now I want to improve even more. And so like just like focusing on yourself. It's like good to like look at other people too, but comparing yourself to yourself, it's the way to go. Yeah, that's what I would tell somebody.
Yeah, that's great piece of advice. Yeah. I think a lot of people, um, including me, like kind of needed that because I feel like, with social media and everything, like we said before, it's really easy to like compare yourself to all of these like influencers and I guess like people online or like even like your mom, comparing you to your cousin or something. Like, I just feel like that's something that really needs to be said. So thank you so much for that. And then we have like a little like mini game to like end this. We have it like for every like podcast episode. I mean, I guess you're the first one to do it because it's our first episode. But this is like a kind of quick fire little fun thingy to kind of close off the episode. Um so I'm just gonna say like a couple of I guess mini questions like and then you just kind of have to say them as fast as you can.
Okay.
So first, are you like an early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Texting or calling?
Ooh. All texting.
Okay. Honestly, same. Favorite like self-care snack or what's something that you like to eat when you're feeling a little bit down?
Oh. Anything that's in my pantry.
Okay, honestly real. A song that makes you feel better instantly and like what's an artist that you feel kind of like brings you peace?
A song that like, makes me feel okay. Oh, this is so hard. Okay, I'll just say folklore evermore. Anything in those actually I don't know. Okay. But an artist that brings me like joy is definitely gonna be Biba Doobie. I feel like her music is really yeah.
I love you, Batumi. Yeah. Um, my personal th I'll take a little take on this. Um, a song that makes me feel better instantly probably has to be like I feel like something like really R&B or like anything by Frank Ocean. I really like
Yeah.
Pink Matter. Um,
Mm,
I love Channel Orange, like the whole album. It's great. But like an artist, honestly, same Bia Badoobie. I love all of her songs. Um, and I can't pick a favorite, but I'd probably say like Angel. Yeah.
I'm thinking like 10:30, 10:36, or like Talk. I don't know. I
Yeah.
like really rock sounding songs.
Yeah, exactly. Really like R&B and like kind of indie music as well.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, and this conversation means a lot. I hope that you enjoyed it as well, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Of course, thank you. Bye, guys. Thank you for listening to Dear Manse episode 1. Stay tuned for September's episode. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.